Hello and welcome to AI for business leaders, business professionals, nonprofits, just using AI appropriately and investing in yourself, future proofing yourself. And at the end of these 6 weeks together, you will be receiving a Trent University AI micro credentials badge. I'm really excited to be with you. I'm Sophie Andreu. And so, what does it take to be in this course, this lecture? I'm going to share with you what's the course outline, and I'll be sharing with you what AI is and what your assignments might look like. So your assignments I'll be talking about in a second. So there is an optional live session on Tuesdays from 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. that you can join the rest of the class. So there's just a handful of us, and it's a very intimate, fabulous, safe place to ask questions, share what works for you. And what we really do is build your final project at that session. So I think you're going to love it. We talk about that week's topic, obviously, and it's only an hour. It will be recorded, though, and that will also be part of the course material. So here is the Zoom link. You can feel free to use the QR code or the link that's here. So, as I said today, that's my AI self. So, of course, that depicts my dogs and myself and what my inner self looks like in my AI power suit. So, I have a whole bunch of digital selves that I use. That's one of the first ones I created on ChatGPT. I asked it to create myself and one of my dogs. So, I kind of love it. And then you'll notice over here, I have a dinosaur being hit by a meteor, and that's anyone that's not using AI. That's kind of my little, people don't really know it's there. It's kind of neat, right? Anyways, kind of maybe it's dark. I apologize. So today we'll be doing the course overview, what's on the course, the timing, and how you succeed and get your badge. What is AI and your AI typical solutions that we'll be talking about. And so, welcome to AI. It's tailored for organizations or nonprofits. We had people from Scotiabank take the course so far. We've had a number of different size companies to entrepreneurs. So, I really individual entrepreneurs. So I hope it's something you can find useful. So I make it available. I know who's on the course after the first week, and I'm able to really tailor it for you, which I'm really enjoying doing. So it's time to invest in yourself. The course enables you to think strategically. An AI strategic thinker is what you'll become. You're not going to be coding, you're not programming in this course. You're becoming a strategic thinker. And anything you look at, how might AI help me or my team do this better, faster, and quicker, and really better than my competitors, really help my clients out, really, help my nonprofit out, depending on what you're doing for a living. And so then, upon completing the 6 weeks self-paced course, you'll be having access to the material, by the way, for a year. And you'll be awarded the micro credential badge and bragging rights. Woohoo! So here is the sequence of things that are happening on this course. Week one, right now, will be the outline overview and what AI solutions might look like for you. These are things a lot of people look at these, go, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that one. Or you come up with a whole new one, which is awesome. So that's what we're here for. Your creativity is the limit on this for sure. And then next week, it's a big one. It's an important one. It's how to talk to AI, how to talk to it. And that really is something called prompting. So, how are you going to prompt AI to come back with what you want, or use it as a coach, or use it on a standalone, or use it with other tools that you currently use that AI is built into. Talking to it is the same regardless of where you're going to access AI. So it's really important. And we're going to touch on chatbots next week as well, because that might be something many of you want to create for your final project. So I thought I'm going to bring that to you up front. Then week three, we're doing business development and market planning together. When we did this course the first time in the summer, we separated those two and realized afterwards that I did chatbots too late in the course. So that's why I brought chatbots up, and I'm doing business development and market planning together. And in that one is where I'm going to introduce to you the tools that I use for creating various AI clones, my AI digital twin or podcasts. So that's where we'll be getting into all of those topics that a lot of you I know have already shared with me that you're interested in. Then October 30th, I want your assignment in by. So you're going to go to the Trent University uh, board, and in that you have access to it. That's where you find all of my material that I share with you, whether it's the videos or the PowerPoints. That would be the discussion board. And in that, you also will find an area that you will add your assignments. And the assignments are public for everyone else to see in the class. And it helps others have ideas as to things they may want to do. And what I find is we actually talk about those assignments and people learn quite a bit from that. So come and be prepared to share, okay, this is what I've done and this is how I did it. And I love sharing how you did it because there's so many tools out there that there may be something that I haven't used yet that you are using that might help us. And I'll incorporate for everyone to understand and understand how it'll benefit them. So your assignment one, I'll talk about what it is in a second. And then we have the online quiz. It's an online assessment that's really, really simple, but it's really just ensuring that you have a handle on what we're talking about. So that online assessment I'll be putting online next week, and you'll have quite a bit of time to do it. I think I'm letting you, within 3 weeks to have it completed. You need to have 75% on it or more, obviously, to get your badge. So that's the intent. You can take it as often as you like. It's considered a self-paced self assessment rather for you. So that's why that's there. Week 4, we'll talk about AI marketing excellence. So I'm going to continue with AI marketing because there's so much you can do with this with regards to content and and again more of the video kind of content and not just video. It's just I have like I'm trying to go through everything in that lecture in my head. Just wait for it. You're gonna love it. And so then we get into on week 5, productivity and automation. There are many things you can do with AI to help your daily productivity and automate repetitive tasks. So that's where we'll be talking about how to automate repetitive tasks, create something called AI agents. So these things are like people get excited with this topic. So I hope you do as well. And then our final week is going to be something called management and governance. How do you understand security that AI has policies. If you're about to actually if you have a large organization and you'd like to implement AI, how would you actually go ahead implementing it, training people? I'm going to give you checklists and I'll be giving you ideas of how you actually will implement your AI and policies, how to fill in your own policy for your organization. So again, I'm looking at you as a business leader and everything you need in order to be my AI qualified to get this badge, right? And then we have a final quiz that covers those final 3 topics as well. And again, you need to get 75% or more. And I'll put that online I guess 3 weeks in. And you have until the end of the course to finish that. I'll give you until December 5th to hand in that final assignment. And we'll talk about that quite a bit today in this video as to what that final assignment is. Most people start working on it right away and then come up with iterations of it. And then they finally have, yeah, this is the one I'm going to do. Okay, so that's it. It's a fun course, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy meeting you. So this is just a little more detail on the course. This is the Zoom link. Again, I showed it to you up here, the Zoom link for us to get together on. So it just have this up here again for you. The Zoom link starts on October 14th on Tuesdays. And it doesn't go actually till November 25th. It goes until um, It goes until December 2nd. I need to change that. We don't have a course on November 25th because my birthday is November 24th. And I'm actually presenting at the Kawartha Family Business um, group meeting on the 24th, which is something I can't wait to do. I thought I'm not going to do you any, I like spending quality time creating my lectures for you and spending time with you. So I thought we're going to skip November 25th and I am going to turn that into December 2nd. If you want to know why I did that, that's why. So if you need to send me birthday wishes, I'm fine with that. Current slide. Okay. So where did that go? Here it is. Do I have the right one here? Yeah, I got the right date there. Good. Don't want to mislead anybody if they see this and they go through it too quickly. So there you go. Okay, so we have pre-recorded videos. These recordings are the topic of the week. I'm going to release them to you on the Friday before the Tuesday. So we get together optionally on Tuesdays. So I'm hoping maybe you've seen the video so I don't have to go through this and reiterate it on the time we're together on Tuesday. Instead, then I want to ask, questions. You ask me questions. We answer these questions as a team, whoever's on the call. We share experiences about AI and we work on your final projects. So that's kind of cool. I go around the room and I ask everyone what they've worked on, what they've done different this week compared to last week. So it's really a cool coaching session. I think you'll love those live sessions. So and then I will record them, of course, and put those also on the Blackboard for everyone. And the assignment one is really fun. The assignment one, you're going to introduce your AI self. So you can create a clone of yourself, as I have a couple digital twins out there. Well, I have one on um, uh, 11 Labs. I have one on Hey Jen, and I'm thinking of creating one on another one on Synthesia. Those are the three tools we'll be talking about in class for video and cloning, and also creating podcasts. Fabulous tools. Those are the three that I have kind of narrowed in on, and so the tools that we'll be using. I've been trying to test a lot of tools. But anyways, create your own AI version of yourself. It could just be an action hero. I'll share with you my action hero. I kind of think that's kind of cool. It's like those old action figures that some of us I've seen before. But I'm an action figure, and both my dogs are in it, and I have a kayak in it as well. I don't have a VW bus. That would have been cool. Anyways, it's like, who are you? Put that together in your action figure. And I also have in there that I'm the AI whisperer. So it's kind of cool. So it's fun to do that. And why we do these things is this fun introduction of yourself as AI for your assignment one is it's really just to get your feet wet on how to use AI. So if you're planning to do your final project on podcasts, maybe you'd like to do a series of podcasts for your company and get those out there using AI. Well, then I suggest that perhaps you have your first assignment doing a podcast to introduce yourself. So who are you and why do you want to use AI? So that might be really helpful for you because make it fun at first and then create your final project on it. Or if you're planning to do some video cloning for your final project, then do that for your assignment. So it's meant to be simple and fun, and I'm hoping you're going to take it that way as well. Self assessment, I already told you about that. That'll be sharing those with you, and then you have the balance of the course to create them, to finish them rather. And I need you to get a minimum 75% pass on them so that we can give you the badge. And then the final assignment demonstrates your understanding of one of the topics we cover in the course by creating an AI solution for yourself. So it could be even a process improvement using AI. It could be a chat bot rather using AI. So whatever it is, or it could be a video clone process that you're going to put in place, and you've actually created it, and then you're going to feed it more scripts as for your business. So that kind of stuff, right? So So, opening, if your company isn't going to embrace AI, and I know everyone is here because they want to embrace AI, so it doesn't apply to you. But what they say is that the company who doesn't embrace AI will be a dinosaur in 3 years. So that's sad, but that's what they're saying is true. So, and then what they say, another they say, is that AI is kind of like what electricity was years ago when it first came out. Electricity was considered to be dangerous. Why would I need it in my home? I already have candlelight. So it was replacing something that was working fine. So think about that. So AI is simply like this. So it's now publicly available as electricity became publicly available. That was frightening. So this is frightening to many as well because people aren't sure how to use it. So that's what you're here for, is to be a strategic thinker. Because this is a strategic thinking course and you're all leaders, I thought you might want some stats. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them, but AI, the global market is projected to reach by 2032 1.7 trillion. I don't even know what the heck that is, from a current 294 billion. Just sounds really big. AI markets are also forecasted to grow from there, anyways, a lot, right? And so it's crazy how the global market, the our market in Canada, the US market is just growing. And I just the applications keep on multiplying and multiplying at such an extraordinary speed. And if you talk about what that means, it means it's going to be a different world the way we use AI in a year from now. AI is not only helping you create code, but it's creating the code on its own and correcting code. But we're not going to get into how to code with AI. It's fascinating. It goes into a computer program and it's able to see the mistakes that are in it. And it's just it's fascinating, as we know. So it's what is AI? AI is generative, meaning it's always learning. So if you have AI and you're using it, and we'll be talking about that when we talk about prompts as to how to use it, where it's in kind of like cognito mode, or how to use it so it's actually remembers what you talked about it last time and it grows upon that. Now, when I go into my favorite AIs that I use all the time, it says, "Hi, Sophie, how are you?" I share with it that I need some help on this project I'm working on. If it's a project I worked on 6 months ago, 3 months ago, it remembers because it's in the same thread, or it remembers because I kept it be part of my history. And I'll show you all that, what that looks like when we do prompts next week. And it remembers what I did before, so I don't have to regurgitate all that. I have already trained it. So it's not Google where you ask one question and the next time you go in, Google doesn't remember it. You have to be distinct in what you're asking Google in order to get a list of whatever you just asked for. Instead, what happens with AI, it's going to give you the answer what you asked for versus links back to a website. However, what we all do with AI, being AI strategic thinkers and leaders, I like to know where it received its information from. So I like to know, and this is a good AI etiquette when we talk about prompts. As a business leader, as someone who's reputable, is where are the references? Where is AI getting its information from? So you can check. You never want to just believe AI the first time and then actually use the content. You can use AI as as one of the best assistants you've ever had. It's tireless. It will go out and it'll find information for you, or it will talk to your clients. But at the end of the day, you need to have the final word to ensure AI is meeting your brand, is meeting your voice. So it's not Grammarly where it's just going in and fixing content and fixing grammar. It's actually thinking. It knows what you did, say, 6 months ago on this specific topic, and it'll bring it forward and say, "Would you like me to also add a paragraph on such and such?" It'll go out and it'll research something for you if you ask it to. So it'll come back in with fresh ideas for whatever you've asked it. to edit for you. So it's not just editing like Grammarly, it's actually thinking about it. Although Grammarly now has AI options built into it, as does Google. So I'm talking about our traditional ones. So opening what is AI, it's like talking to a human, and it learns from your questions and tweaks when you tell it, no, that's not what I meant. This is what I meant. It can build on your past questions, and it uses data from around the world. So everything is open for it to learn. So here's just I'm missing a few here, but anyways, here are three of the ones that I use generally in this course. The AIs that you can reach out to directly. We do our prompt engineering next week. We'll be starting with these, and so you can use these on your browser, chatgpt.com, which is the original AI. OpenAI created itself in California, and they created chatgpt.com. And the app for that looks like this, and you could probably also put it on your cell phone. What I like is sometimes I get some ideas and I start talking to AI on my cell phone, and then later on I come back to it on my laptop, and it actually, because it's the one account, it knows both threads because it's in the cloud, it's living in the cloud. So I love that. It's your bank accounts are in the cloud. ChatGPT is in the cloud, so that's how it operates. So if you access your bank account from an app or from your desktop, it's the same bank account. Okay, so you want to think of that. You log in with an email and password. It knows it's you. It's somewhat secure, but it's in the cloud. It's new technology, so you need to, and we'll talk about that later as to the kind of things I would never put in the cloud-based AI because of security and other things. So Copilot, you'll notice, is .microsoft.com. So Copilot is owned and created by Microsoft, although it's built upon AI, which was, of course, originated and everything stems from the original one. But Copilot, often larger organizations will only let their staff use Copilot if they let them use AI because they find that one more secure because they are comfortable with the Microsoft world. So you can also put your Copilot and go to it directly if you want. So you're using it to search the world and have the smartest, AI working or assistant working with you, and it's copilot.microsoft.com, or you can go and download the app that looks like that and have that on your phone. Of course, I have multiple ones on my phone. Often I'll ask each of them the same prompt because they do behave a little bit differently, which brings me to gemini.google.com, obviously created by Google. And that one just blows you away. Oh, they all blow you away every time they come up with new features because they're always trying to outdo each other, and they can do so much now. I used to need a number of different apps on AI to just do what each of these individually can now do, which is very cool. So, anyways, Gemini.google.com is one that is known for not only asking the kind of questions we'll be talking about in this class, business questions and marketing questions, and creating videos and creating content and doing competitive research, which I love doing with AI. But Gemini can also go that next step and help with coding. But we're not going to talk about that. Okay, so definitions already talked about that. It's learning, it's problem solving, it's recognizing data patterns. So we're also going to be doing that in the business development as no, sorry, in the productivity part. In the productivity part, I missed having that on the outline. That's where we're going to be doing data analysis in the productivity aspect. So it can look at your spreadsheets and help you create, what gaps do you see in this, in this spreadsheet? What gaps do you see in my business plan? What gaps do you see in these financials? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? and it will tell you what they are. So it's seeing things and giving you analysis that you wouldn't have seen on your own. But it can also go out if you ask it to and look at trends that are happening in my industry and what am I vulnerable for. Now, all of a sudden, now imagine that in your inventory if you sell a certain product and it knows in that product, humans aren't buying it anymore, and you have a huge inventory of this product, which you're now going to be left with if you don't, whatever it's going to tell you. So it could tell you to add value add to it by bundling it or something else. It could tell you to put on a sale because you need to get rid of this product because these other products are coming in and replacing them, and there's a hunger for this product, but it wants to be less priced. It'll tell you with QuickBooks that it can look at your financials. It knows what you've spent in the past, and it'll share with you what the trends are in the future. So so it recognizes, it helps you make some decisions a lot smarter than we can do on their own. Um, there, so that's really cool. Okay, so I already talked about this. I'm not going to talk about that. But what I wanted to share with you when it comes to AI is that we have those kind that stand alone, like ChatGPT, GoPilot, Gemini, and Grok. Grok. I can't ignore that one. That one is newer on the scene, but it's highly respected as well. So it's another AI tool that stands on its own. Now, there's those AI tools that are integrated in almost every single app that we've ever used. So Canva has a number of different AI dimensions to it now. If you go into Canva and you look at Canva AI, you can see all sorts of cool things that it does. One of the things some people say was AI, and I'm not sure it really was AI, where it removed the background. So I don't really think that was AI. But other things that it can do is when it's actually thinking for you and coming up with different ideas, that's what AI is, the generative learning. Microsoft, as we said, you can use it on its own, but in your Word or in your PowerPoint or in your Excel, I'll be showing you that you can now add, and you have been able to for a while, add Copilot to your Microsoft. So that is what most enterprise companies, if they're going to allow their staff to use AI, they'll allow that type of AI so you have to, your IT department has to enable it. You can't do this on your own if you're in the enterprise version of Microsoft without your IT department enabling it. If you are using Microsoft, as I do, Microsoft 365, which is a upgrade, I have been able to upgrade to 365, and in that I can upgrade and add Copilot to my Microsoft. And so that's well worth it, and I have done that. And you'll see within my AI and on my, Word documents and I'll be sharing with you in a moment. You can see that I have a Copilot icon on the top right, where I click on that and it opens up a whole chat on the side of my Word document or on my PowerPoint or on my Excel spreadsheet. And I can ask it to, this is a business plan that I have created for anyways, we would go through the prompting next week. I'm not going to prompt right now in my head. And it would help me, as AI does, with that whole document. What it can't do is go out and search the internet because it's now within that safe environment. So I often have my safe environment AI that's built into the app I'm working on. Plus, I have another AI over here opened up in a browser that I'm going out and getting stats from and other information that will help me make this, whatever I'm working on, even more successful. So I'll be sharing that with you. So Microsoft is built into the Microsoft platforms. And if you're on Enterprise, that includes Teams, that includes Outlook, that includes your SharePoint, all of the places that you have your files. So some of the process improvements that people have seen is the collaboration amongst team members in their organizations, where they're enabling AI to help them schedule meetings, also help them find documents that they worked on as a team. And it might be something that the AI tool finds from 5 years ago because it has access to all of your files. And it can summarize what is it we talked about over the last, and you can tell it 5 years on this specific topic. Give me some summary, and then it will actually point to each of those files so you don't have to spend all that time looking for them. So it's pretty amazing. Now, Google, what if you happen to not use um, Microsoft and you use instead Google? Well, and in that case, with Google, you will find that Google itself, the Google platform, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google uh, uh, Slides. Thank you very much, and the whole your Google storage system, Google Drive. You would be using Gemini for that. Gemini is built into all of that. So in that, you're able to do so much and more on with Google and its AI. You can create AI agents through Gemini, just as you can through Copilot for Microsoft. So we'll be getting in all of that content. So you've got integrated AI where it's integrated into your blogs. Perhaps you have a blog on your website. You'll find AI is integrated in it now. The little AI icon pops up and it lets you improve what you just wrote. You can just give your blog a couple of bullets and ask it to create a full blog on those two bullets. Then it can do that for you. And of course, as I said, never just go with that. Make sure it matches your brand, it matches what you want it to say. And as you work more and more with that particular AI and that particular tool, it will get to know you and you'll find that the voice naturally starts becoming you. Website tools have AIs built into them, your e-commerce tools, your CRM tools, and so much and more has AI built into it, integrated in it. Then there happens to be AI that has come out just for specific items. For example, what I don't, yeah, I do industry specific. So if you're in the medical field, if you're in the automotive field, if you are a manufacturer, you will find that there are specific AI tools that have been built for your niches. Okay. We're not going to get into those in this course. We're getting into, you're managing your company and you're growing your company. But in doing your management and growth of your company and marketing, there are tools that have come out that are phenomenal for helping you create videos, clones, and it's become so easy. So HeyGen is one of them that helps you create a video and clones your voice. Synthesia is another one that does that. 11 Labs is one that does the voice cloning. It does the voice cloning. I think it's still the best, but I could be wrong because HeyGen and Synthesia are really coming up quick on the cloning of your voice, Tation, making you sound real as your digital twin, your AI twin. And then there's Notebook LM. It's one that Google has created, which is, I really love that one. That one brings all your content together and all sorts of different documents that you want on a specific topic, whether it's documents, website resources, videos. It understands videos and articles, and it brings it together and it will create for you from that the ability for people to ask it anything. So it's like it could be used for onboarding. It's pretty amazing, but it'll also create a word map. I love word maps. I'm an engine. My undergrad is computer science. My master's is engineering. So give me a diagram any day. I love diagrams. So this will give people a diagram of what is in that huge file and it'll categorize it. So you click on the first box, which might be the high level information, and it opens that up into here's more information. Here's the tree. Here's the tree. And I'll show you that one. And then it links back to where it gives you the content for each part, a summary. It's beautiful. It's detailed. And then it also creates a podcast of that same information. It's just mind blowing and it's free. I love that tool. It's only been on the market, maybe available to the public for about I was going to say an hour, a month, but it's really powerful. It's one of the most powerful things I've seen. So I thought I'd share it. Okay, so these are purpose built. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So as I said, if I was to go to my Microsoft Word, which is what this is, and I bring in a document that I've created or I start creating something. What I'm looking at here is Copilot. That's what it looks like. When AI first came out, Microsoft hadn't created its own AI first. So you may have, if you have tried to use AI in the past, not realized it, and you may have used something like Autopilot or GP for Excel and Word, which is what I used originally, or Ghostwriter, which was one of the original ones. The Copilot is the one you really want to use, okay? And what you see here is this was one of the Zoom meetings, all my Zoom meetings that I have, which is what I'll be using for our time together on Tuesday nights. It will video whatever we have in the lecture, but it'll also create a word summary for it. And I'll also be sharing that word summary for you, text summary. And I love that because it'll give you actions, next steps, and it'll categorize every topic spoken about. So for meetings, we'll be talking about that one in the productivity section of this course. But all that to say is you click on Copilot, it's going to open up on the side of the same panel a dialog box where you can ask Copilot questions. You can ask it to expand a certain paragraph, to tweak this entire document so that it's readable to perhaps an executive director that you'd like to send this to, or perhaps to make it funny. You know, maybe you'd like this whole document to be funny because you're going to use it as a script for something. What is this one? This one is, how do you even add your Microsoft, how do you even add Copilot to it? So if you happen to be using Microsoft 365 as I do, then you want to go into your manage subscriptions in your Copilot, and that's where you can add your actual Copilot Pro, which I have Copilot Pro already. You can make sure that your make sure your Microsoft is Pro so that you can have your Copilot in there. So I'd have to check on the prices because they do vary often. But this one, when I bought it, it was $145 for the year when I bought my Copilot Pro. And I was able to add it to my 365 family. If you use the enterprise version, you would have to go through your IT department. Now, if I'm in Google and I use Gmail, I would be able to add, see this little diamond shape? That's Gemini. So Gemini, I would add that to my Google environment, and then on all of my emails, I can click on this. It'll give me a summary of what new emails I have that day. I can ask it to go through and find all the emails from George Baropoulos because I need to know everything I've talked about to George. It'll come up with all the emails. It'll list them for me so I can physically go to them, but it'll also summarize for me what I've said to him. I can ask it, what due dates do I have? What do I have any tasks today that I've missed? What's the most important email that I have received in the last week that have action and steps to it? So you ask it, this is where your prompt goes, and we'll know more about that after next time we're together. But you can ask Gemini anything there. So it's pretty cool. And of course, you can ask it to edit whatever you're working on as well for the response. I showed you I showed you Microsoft and how you add Copilot to it. This is in Google Docs. In Google Docs. So if you're not using Microsoft and Word, you might be using Google in Google Docs for creating your documents, right? So in that, what you'll see right here is that little diamond. So it's built right in. I click on it and up comes that little side chat panel where it lets me know, what this document is all about. So if you are someone are part of a nonprofit board and you have all of, your monthly board meetings and you need to go through all of the financials, all of the different documentation that comes up, you would bring it into whichever system you're using and then click on the actual and ask it to the actual AI that is integrated into that system. So it's a safe environment. You're not leaving your system and you're asking it to summarize the document. What are the gaps? What are the threats? And it's pretty amazing what you'll see. Let's see what's next. Sheets, Google Sheets in this case, and then I'll show you Excel spreadsheets. But in this case here, you'll see you can Gemini can now do more in your sheet. So they keep on improving and improving and improving what features their AIs can do in your integrated world. So here, Gemini can do more in Sheets. Um, Gemini can now make requested changes and insert content directly into your files. All inserted content will be attributed to you in this version history when they look at the history. So we'll talk about more about this because this would be what we would call productivity tools within the sheets. But again, you'll see the triangle in the top area of your Google Sheets. That is your Gemini. And in this case, you can see the Copilot in the Microsoft Excel. And when I click on this, the actual box would show up on the side where you can talk to it, ask it to summarize it, ask it to enter something, ask it to split up a row if you decide, or that column you want to take out, perhaps separate the first and the last person's name into two different columns. Perhaps you want to see what, perhaps brought in all of your Google reviews or all of your social media reviews, and you want to know what the common thread is through these reviews, and it'll help you with what the common thread is. And perhaps you then want to know how to address these, how to answer each one. I mean, there's so much you can do, which we'll talk about when we talk about productivity and automation, actually. So then in PowerPoint, okay, so anyways, you get the idea. Here in PowerPoint, you're seeing Copilot up here, and then, excuse me. And so here in Copilot itself, when I go to it directly, copilot.microsoft.com, you'll see, hi, Sophie, what would you like to dive into today? And you'll see that's where you put the prompt. And it gives you some ideas. Perhaps you wanted to create an image, improve your writing, write a first draft, design a logo, predict the future, draft a text. And then there's all these other labs and really cool things you can do up here. And then these are my past conversation. It keeps all of them as my past conversation, which is kind of cool. So promoting fall ankle boot collection, that was for a client. Notebook LM features and sharing, that was for some of the research I was doing on what Notebook LM has to offer because it had just promoted, it just came out on the market. Promotion, so it's just all of your past content comes up, so you can go back to it, revisit it if you want, or you can go to it and ask more questions about it if you like. So it's pretty amazing. But we'll be going to this next week to talk about prompts. And this is ChatGPT. ChatGPT.com has upgraded to 5 recently, and with that, you're able to ask them. It's really become even better at its responses, ChatGPT. If you want to talk incognito mode, where it doesn't keep the history on the side, where it erases it after you ask it a question, you would click on this, and it would become a private conversation, and it would erase it on the side. However, they say it's actually stored in their cloud for 72 hours, so it's not really erased, but you won't see it, and anyone that uses your computer won't see that you were talking about it. But you can go down here, and down here at the bottom, all your past chats. So my AI micro credential brochure, I let it look at the website for micro credentials. I had it look at my own. I told it what what I'd like the bullets to be to go into a brochure, and it helped me create the brochure outline. So it was so fast. It's like having a really smart person working with you all the time. It's fabulous. And then there's some other things where you can create your own chat bots, which I'll be sharing with you. The simplest chat bots to create are really right here on ChatGPT. It walks you through how to create your own chat bots. Then it has some pre-made ones too. This is Gemini. This just happens to be what it looks like. You ask Gemini anything down here, and I've upgraded to Gemini Pro as well. They're inexpensive to upgrade, these individual direct ones, and they are worth it. So, your assignment one, let's wrap up with what your assignment one is and what your final assignment will be. And in this wrap up of your final assignment is where we're going to be talking about really cool solutions you might think of that you might want to use AI solutions for your final assignment, but they're also what we're going to be talking about throughout the class. So, in your first assignment, please introduce your AI self. Again, it could be whoever you decided to, how you ever decide. It could be an AI clone, could be a cartoon version of yourself, could be a video, could be a podcast. However, your imagination is your limit. So maybe it's something else that I hadn't thought of that they didn't do in the last class. So it should be pretty cool. So you want to just, who are you? And what do you plan on doing with AI? Just kind of answering those two questions. And then you need to be able to upload it somehow to the to the AI micro credentials discussion board at Trent. So you'll be going into your trentu.ca, and you'll be going to your Blackboard, and there you'll find our class. And in our class is where all these videos are, and our uh, PowerPoints for the class, and any other resources I put up there for you, as well as there's a discussion area where it's called assignment one and then assignment two, and you'll be able to upload your assignments. Okay, I want them please due by October 1st, even though you can upload them if you have a whole bunch of versions of yourself you want to upload. Go for it. That's what happened last class. Someone uploaded one, and then I didn't like that one. They uploaded a second one. That's okay. No docking marks for uploading a few versions of yourself. And then, but I need this final iteration of whatever you're going to introduce yourself as by October 1st, so that you don't have to fiddle with it later on. Okay. October 1st, that's not true. October 30th. Oh boy, I'm glad said that a few times. I said, there's something wrong with that. Yeah, but October 30th. Okay, I'm just going to increase this a little. There. Sorry about that. And I need to move you out of here. I'll save it later. Okay, so then we have your final AI solution submission. So in this, you're going to be creating a AI solution that you can use back at your office. That's really what the whole intent of this course is. That's what I'm hoping you're going to work on and just really hit it out of the ballpark. This is why you're taking this course, is to be an AI strategic thinker, but to also now implement it. I'm a, do it kind of person. I don't want you to just talk about it, do it. And so this is the do it part. So on this course, you're going to design and pull together your own AI solution, something that's practical, that's useful to your business, your organization, or to something that'll help you at home. I'm okay with that. I just really want you to use AI and show the class how you're going to do it. And I'll be sharing with you here how you're going to show the class in a couple of slides. So you're going to choose a project. that connects to one of the topics, of course. And I don't think I've missed anything in this course. So you're pretty much picking anything you want for AI. It could be automating a competitive research, and that's what one of the other students did. I'll talk about this later on. What each in this, I'll talk about that in the next couple of minutes. It could be creating onboarding chatbots. Again, that's what another student did in one of the past courses that we taught. It could be automating reports that you currently work on that are very tedious. Again, that's something that another student did in a past class. AI videos. And I only say that because I know some of you wanted to create some AI videos. So, absolutely, AI videos is one that we can work on and deciding what kind of videos, how long. We'll figure out which tool is best for you to use. We'll do that together. I'm excited about that. AI podcasts. That's something that I think is really useful in so many ways that I can't hope somebody does choose it. AI clones, AI agents is productivity tools where it's not just productivity, it also thinks for you and it responds. So that one's very cool. So we have all sorts of different ideas. So here's one example, AI competitive review. So in this one, what this student did was they did the competitive review at beginning of the class where they use some of the prompts we introduce next week on business development and competitive analysis, and they figured out how to uh, figure out who their target audience is, what their target audience's pain points are. Each one gave them a few different segments, and then with each one who are their top five competitors. So, what it is they currently do, and who are their top five competitors. So, then what they asked AI to do on a weekly basis is look at their top five competitors. What have they changed in their websites the past week? And so now they get a report every Monday as to what's been changed on their top five competitors' websites. And they ask them what was the most engaging social media posts that this competitor did. And so these competitors did. So it's giving them that information. And then based on my own website and what my competitors are doing, what should I change on my website this week? And what should I post this week, which would be most product engaging? Thank you. So it's fabulous. And she's telling me she's still using it. She loves that. And she's getting this on a constant basis. So that's something we'll talk about in the business development um, uh, prompts and marketing and productivity module. So it's kind of like all those modules. And so what she ended up using was Zapier for the and she used Zapier and she used ChatGPT and she used her email, Gmail. So, but you don't need the Zapier now because you can do all of this right through Gemini. So you don't need to leave your environment, and Gemini will do the public search as well as now bring that report in. Or if you're on Microsoft, you can do that entire thing through Copilot. So things have evolved even from the summer session that I created. So that's another. So this is one of the ideas. Another idea was automated report processing. So an AI agent that receives regular reports, and this is one of the things that one of the students that was Scotiabank, they had all these regular reports that they received, and they had to manually extract certain data and update and connect certain spreadsheets manually. And it was taking them hours each day. So then they created this process with their Microsoft Copilot and their Excel spreadsheets, and it really helped streamline their data entry, and they were thrilled with that. So we're going to talk about this through the productivity aspect of this course. So that's where this kind of solution we'll talk about. And then there was another one on onboarding chatbots. I was very happy about this one as well. They created an onboarding chatbot for seasonal employees. So this is an organization that works with tourisms and organizations, and they have a lot of seasonal employees. So they wanted all of their knowledge to be known by those people that are new to them. And you give someone all these big manuals, you talk to them about it, you show them all these websites, you give them the documents, the digital, and now when they need the information, they're not really sure what you said. So instead, what happens is they forget, they make it up. Everyone has different knowledge levels, but with the onboarding chatbot, they can ask them anything. It knows because you have trained it, you fed it all that same information. Onboarding is just like you're training a new staff member, except this staff member remembers, and you can ask it at any time a question and it shares the information. And so that's some of the different. So we're going to learn about how to do that kind of solution through the chatbot, prompt engineering, and AI management section. So I think you're going to love that one. Another one is customer service chatbot. So if you want your clients to be able to ask certain questions anytime, then this is a AI chatbot that I can help you with as well. And we'll be talking about that through the chatbot, prompt engineering, and AI management sections. So if you already have a frequently asked questions, if you already have clients calling and asking you the same questions over and over again, if there are certain websites that are like your federal regulated or provincially regulated websites that you use, or your institutional websites, you feed that individually to all the chatbots and you have it focused on only being able to answer these things. So then what happens is it knows everything that's on those websites. So whoever asks, you're the one portal of information, and the chatbot can't lie because it's interpreting everything it sees. And the whole term there is interpreting. So you do still have to be careful. You're able to go in, check to see who was asking the question, what all the answers were, and train that chatbot in case it was misleading somebody. You can also do a barge in if you're seeing that the chatbot is going the wrong way on an answer and have a human intervention. So there's all of this, and there's escalations needed. When is it that your chatbot, how will they know if it needs help? So if someone's asking certain questions, or if they feel if chatbots feel, yes, if chatbot feels this person is getting anxious or angry, then it needs to know how to escalate this chat that's happening. And it needs to know who to escalate it, when to escalate it to, and how to escalate it. So there's all these cool things that come out of that session, out of that ability. Multilingual communication assistance. So this is a big one that I see as one of the students that we worked with. They told me later on that they are now finding the most use out of their AI training because their company, because of many things that have happened, their largest trading partner used to be south of the border. Now they've had to trade with different countries. And in that, they've had to learn all these different languages. So, in this, as they're doing videos, the chatbot clone of them is being automatically translated into another language. And that has saved her so much time and has gotten so much more in clients for her. So I was thrilled to hear that. And it's more than just this. She's using it in many different ways, not just the video clone, but also through live videos that she's doing where it's automatically being translated, not just like Google Translate used to, but the way it's actually translating. Um, AI has the ability to translate effectively, and it's innuations, it's culture, it's culturally correct, if I can say it that way. So what else? Well, let's look at this one. AI clones. It's one where we can easily now create your own AI clone to deliver company updates regularly, announcements, training messages automatically generated from written scripts that you create or AI creates for you. So this solution helps teams maintain consistent communication while saving time. So that's another solution you may decide to have. Another one might be AI podcasts where you clone a voice, and maybe you don't even need to clone. In both these cases, you may not need to clone, but you want to have a brand. So they have all sorts of different avatars you can choose in the video aspect of it. So you don't need to clone somebody. You could just choose an avatar, especially if you work with a whole bunch of clients. Maybe you want to choose an avatar for your different clients, and that's the avatar you go to for a specific client. When you're talking about one specific product, it's always this avatar Jane you created. Now, podcast is the same thing. You can clone your voice so that you have a podcast, and you can create it where it's like an interview, and you can choose what voice you want to be interviewed by. And so it's really cool because it makes whatever your topic is sound so much more official because you're being interviewed by someone that's so excited about your topic. So that's something that's really neat. Let's see, we got one left here. AI short videos. You can There's all sorts of different ways to produce short videos and different types. There's so many. So I know a couple people that are taking this course are interested in short videos. So I need to find out what kind of short videos, then we can decide which way to go with that. Is it the animated? Is it the which type is it? Is it I'm thinking of specific ones in my head. So we'll see what you're looking for and we'll make sure that happens. So when you're kind of finishing your project and you want to implement this back at your company, you may have to prove that this is something that is useful to your company. And that's what some of the people that I worked with in the summer had to do. They worked for a large company and they had to prove to them that it was something that was necessary. So this is something that could help you in your final assignment when you're presenting how the documented part that goes along with your final assignment. It's not necessary. Just being able to demonstrate the final AI solution is all you need. But some people went further with this. So if you're that type of person that needs to have this information as well, this is why I created it for you. It's kind of a 10-step checklist for the AI solution that works best for you. So you define why you want the AI solution. State the problem. What is your problem? Is it error prone? Is it too slow? What's going on? Is it costly? What problem are you fixing? Who benefits from it? Is it just you? Is it a team? Is it your audience? Who's going to benefit from this AI solution? So you want to know that so that you're using it creating it for the right reasons. The desired outcome. Are you saving X hours per week? Or is it going to increase your leads per month? Is it going to decrease hours error rate? So why are you doing this? And that's exactly what the Scotia Bank, the person that was working for one of the banks did, was that they needed to prove that this solution was going to solve it saved hours a week and it actually decreased errors. That's why they were doing it. So I was really thrilled with that. And then you map it to the course module, which module is helping you with this, solution of yours. And then list 3 to 5 candidate ideas. So what is it that you want to create? Like, what are the different AI solutions you'd like to create? Your competitive analysis? Is it a onboarding? So what is it you're creating? Or is it a customer service chatbot? And then reality check. Do you actually have the inputs that you need to train the chatbot? Do you have the resources? Do you have the ability to upgrade whatever tool it is you need to upgrade to make this happen? Um, do you have, are you allowed to use these tools, these AI tools? So you want to make sure it's like a reality checklist. And then estimate the effort. How long will this take to create? Start small. And everything you do, start small so you can actually finish it and create this and get a big impact from that, and then go to the next one. So you don't need to create something huge for this final project. Just create something small, and then score your idea. So this is what I mean by scoring it, where impact versus effort. I like scoring things. Being an engineer, everything I do, I need a weighted average. So this may not be something you like, but I like weighted averages. So for example, how important is the business impact, saving time, revenue, or increasing quality? That could be your biggest weight, 35 points. Okay, so feasibility, that's something you can do in 6 weeks. Is it feasible? That's a pretty big weight because you want to make sure it's something you can do in the 6 weeks we're together. So that can be 25 points. Data readiness. Do you have the data that you need to make this happen? So 15 points for that. Risk policy fit. Does it fit your brand? Is it something that makes sense, or is it something that they'll say, no, you can't do that. You cannot create a clone of this company. It's not acceptable. I mean, so is it something that's going to be squashed? So that's kind of important. You don't want to zero on that one. And cost to pilot. You have monthly costs for these that are prohibitive? And then you want to put that into your, and so basically you're uh, multiplying that and by 1 to 5, and then except the cost flip. Except you'll see what I mean in a second. So pick a winner. The highest score wins, unless a slightly lower one is dramatically easier to implement. Okay. Um, microscope the pilot, human in the loop. So you want to be able to test it, review it, test it, approve it before you go live. Don't just go live on the first draft, because I'm sure you might need more. You will need more drafts. Okay. Success metrics. How are you going to measure success? That's so important as a business leader. You want to make sure you're measuring success in whatever you do. You're not just implementing something to implement it. And then risks and a go or no go decision. So you need to have a risk or no go decision. You just keep on doing it the old way. So there's nothing wrong with that. So that's kind of your 10-step checklist that we realized somebody that was working for a large organization, they needed to go through all these steps. You may not need to, but it's here if you need it for something that you're working on. This is what the impact and feasibility looked like. So weekly competitive review, the impact was 5, the feasibility was 4, the data that they had was 4. So out of 1 out of 5, it was a 4. The impact 1 out of 5 was a 5. It was high. The feasibility 1 out of 5, it was a 4. The risk was just a 4, and the cost was inexpensive, so it became high. It was a 4. So the score was 4.5. So that's pretty cool. Reports. You have the report generation. So you can see each one of these. 1 out of 5. How important is it to you? And so the impact, 1 out of 5, what was the impact of putting in a AI short product video? The impact is 4 in this person's case. Feasibility, it's something they could do. It was a 4. Did they have the existing data set to make this happen? 5 out of 5. Risk, it was a 4. So the risk was low. So these are the two inverted ones. And the cost was low. So I'm going to just go back up here. So your ideas, you can do it a couple different ways. This one to me is the easiest. Just rate it between 1 and 5. 1 being low, 5 being high, except for the risk and the score of the cost. Then you flip it, because you want the cost to be low, and you're going to mark that as a 5. You want the risk to be low, and so if it is low, you're going to mark that as a 5. Okay, so let's just these are, if you're more someone like myself that likes the weighted average, you may want to then multiply that final score by your weighted average. I think that might be overkill in this case, so you'd want to flip over here to where you are just simply looking at the feasibility between 1 and 5. Okay, so you're going to look at weekly competitive review, a 5-day plan. So let's see, the impact would be 5. That's a big one. That's important to know your competitive weekly review. How are my competitors doing? Feasibility, is it something that is easy to do? Is it hard to do? Maybe you feel it's a 4 out of 5. It's kind of easy. It's kind of hard. But it's not really hard. So giving it a 4 out of 5. Data, do you have the data? I'm not sure why you wouldn't have the data. I'd probably make that a 5 out of 5 because it can find the data for you. And then the risk. The risk here is low. The risk here is low, so I would make that a high score, about a 4. And then the costs aren't that high. You're just using current uh, your current integrated tools to do this one, your current AI that's integrated into your platforms, so that cost is low. And if you choose to use Zapier, which is another way to tie things together, you're going to see your cost there still won't be that high. So all that does is that your weighted average, when you add all these together and then divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, becomes 4.5. So you're looking at the highest weighted average. So in this case, customer service frequently asked chatbot, the risk you can see is a little bit higher risk because what if the people interpret the wrong information? You need to be very careful with a customer service chatbot. So I probably would have brought that one down even more because that is a higher risk. But anyways, you can see that was the lowest weighted average. So it may not be something you'd like to do. So that's just some of the ways you can decide if you're working at a larger company, if you're going to do something or not with your 10 steps. Again, that might be overkill. All I really wanted to do in this part was to share with you all the different types of really cool applications that are out there in AI solutions. Okay. So, and finally, you've got to think about what type of solutions might be good for you. And in those cases, we'll figure out which apps it is that you need, which apps are the tools that you'll need to create these tools, and we'll make sure that you understand those apps and that you're able to afford them and put them to use. Okay, so tomorrow, next week, we're going to be talking about prompts. So prompts is week 2, and that's talking to AI. And I'm also going to get into a little bit about chatbots. And mastering prompts is critical because that unlocks how you speak to any AI anywhere. So it unlocks the full potential of your um, journey with AI, your adventures. Okay.